it's me, your girl Elisa from StylishCurves.com, and today I'm back with a new video. So today's video is actually a requested video. When I did my last Sephora and e.l.f. haul, and I showed you guys some of the new products that I got, you guys were interested in me doing a review on Lancome's Miracle Cushion Foundation. So I decided to just do a quick little review of it. I've been using it for probably like almost a month, maybe let's say like maybe 2.5 to 3 weeks I've been using the foundation. And so I'm going to give you my final thoughts on it. You're also going to see how I apply it. So if you're interested in seeing how this foundation works, and especially the shades for brown and deep skin women, then stay tuned. Alright guys, so let's just jump into the review. So I'm quite sure plenty of you have heard of Lancome's new cushion foundation. You've probably seen tons of reviews on it already, but I felt like there weren't a lot of reviews on it for deeper skin tones, and I think there's a reason why. So before I get into the reason why, let me just tell you a little bit about the foundation. So this is the package that it comes in, and it just says Lancome Miracle Cushion, and it's a liquid cushion compact that gives you a fresh glow, lasting hydration, and weightless buildable coverage. So I would say all of that is absolutely true. When you put this on, it does not feel like it is on your skin. So let me show you what it looks like in case any of you haven't seen it. Now I've used mine already, so it's not as pretty, shiny, and new. This is what it looks like. It's just a white base with a silver top, and you push the button here and it flips it open, and then there's a mirror right there. The next thing you'll see in here is a little sponge for you to use. And I've used my sponge, so that's why it's all brown and dirty, because I've used it already. The sponge comes on top of this lid, which is covering the actual cushion foundation. And this is what the cushion foundation looks like. Now, it's like a real literal cushion inside the foundation. I mean, inside the foundation. It's like a real cushion inside the compact. And so I'm assuming that the cushion is just moist with liquid foundation. And what you are supposed to do is take this little handy dandy sponge. You are to press it down inside, and then when you press it down, you'll I don't know if you can see the little wet spot on the sponge. That is the foundation on the sponge, and then you just press it into your skin. And like it says, it is buildable coverage, so you will definitely be able to put on as little or as much as you would need or like. So that's that. So let's talk about application. So application was a bit weird for me at first, because obviously I'm not used to using a little sponge to apply foundation. I'm used to using a brush, or you know, I'm used to using like a beauty blender sponge, but not something flat like this. This is obviously what you use like when you want to do like a little powder touch up, or you want to blot some shininess on your forehead. But to really like try to use this as a foundation application was definitely a little weird, and it took some time to get used to. Like I said, I've been wearing this foundation for a couple of weeks now. I'm actually wearing it now in this video. What I love about the foundation is the coverage. Because it's so light, you would not think that it's giving you coverage. And then the video that I'm going to insert possibly right now, in the video you can see me like tapping the sponge multiple times because I'm thinking nothing's on it. But when I stop to look in the mirror, it's like, oh snap, look at that coverage. Like, you are putting something on your face. And that's really truly how light the foundation is. And literally the coverage for me, it definitely, within probably like 2 pats, I would want to say, it covered everything that I needed to, needed it to cover. And I felt like the application was smooth. I felt like it was even. And the other thing I like about it is that it does leave your skin with a dewy look. So if you have oily skin, I have oily skin, this to me is not necessarily a foundation you would want to wear on a super duper hot summer day. So it's not a foundation you want to wear when it says it's 90 degrees outside. No, it's not even, I would even say like 85 is like, no, don't wear it. But if it's like a nice breezy summer day, like in the 70s, I would say definitely wear this foundation because it's going to give you such a nice, just dewy, soft look. What I also liked about this foundation is that it does give you kind of like a brightening effect. It doesn't just cover any imperfections you have. I feel like it also kind of just gave me like that nice little wake me up that your skin sometimes needs. And especially if you have dry skin, this is probably a foundation you're going to love. But even though I'm oily skin, I still felt like I liked the dewiness and I liked the brightening effect that it gave. So those are all the things that I love about the foundation. Now, I got my foundation shade in 555 Suede C. So the colors in, I hope I'm not blinding you guys. So the colors in this foundation are not the same as the Tint Idol. I personally love the Tint Idol. That's one of my favorite foundations. You guys seen me use that in a few of my videos before, and I talk about it. But in Tint Idol, I'm between 540 Suede W and 550 Suede C. So in this foundation, I had to get the 555 Suede C. Now, there is another shade that is lighter than this 555 Suede C. So again, this is what 555 Suede C looks like. So when I looked at it, it looked like it might be too dark. Because my skin is like, it's like light in certain places, then it's dark in other places, and then, you know, my neck is a different color. So I normally always go for a darker shade if I feel like another shade is too light. So in this, the next shade above this is 500 Suede C. So these colors are not corresponding to the Tint Idol foundation. So you can't, if you go and try to test it out, you cannot go off of what shade you are in the Tint Idol. This is a completely different kind of color system they have going, which brings me to what I dislike about this foundation. Is the shades. So 500 Suede C was a completely, in my opinion, for me, was just too light. And obviously with contouring and highlighting, you can do a lot of things to make a lighter foundation work for you. But for me, because on a daily basis I'm not like highlighting and contouring and doing a full face of makeup, sometimes I just do you know, foundation, and I'll do concealer under my eyes and a setting powder, and I'm out the door. So a lot of the times I like for my foundations to be as close to my skin color as possible. Now I decided against the 500 Suede C. Now I bought the 500 Suede C, tried it, and like I said, it just was too light, so I took it back and I got the 550. As I watched other YouTubers review this, I noticed that kind of everyone had the same problem, especially if they were of a deeper complexion. And I know that a lot of people went with the 500. And I think for me that's more of a preference. So I just stuck with the darker color because I felt like I could just highlight and brighten up the middle of my face and leave the perimeters, you know, darker. So that's why I said, you know what, I'll just be better off with the darker shade. And as you can see, in my opinion, the darker shade works fine. I don't know on camera if you could tell, like, I don't think it looks too dark. It kind of, to me, I felt like did pretty good of matching my skin tone. But I would have liked that in between shade. Like I would have liked 500 and then maybe 525 or 540 and then 555. I felt like an in-between shade between 500 and 555 would have made me love this even more. But that is truly my only dislike about this foundation, is the fact that the shade range is weird, and then it just like it goes from light to dark. So even people who were in the 450, that's the next shade above 500, even people who were in the 450 range were like, you know, like that's kind of too light, you know. So obviously this is a new foundation for Lancome, and so I'm quite sure they wanted to just roll something out and do the best that they could, because they always do great foundation. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe next year or even towards the ending of this year that they will come out with more shades. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I could get an in-between shade between the 555 and the 500. But overall, I personally think that this is a very good foundation if you are looking for something, one, lightweight, two, if you're looking for something to give you a dewy complexion. The price of this foundation is like $45 or $46, I think, is what I paid for it at Sephora. I think it might have been like $45 or $46.50, something like that. I'll leave a link down below. So another good thing about this foundation is that it is refillable. So if you run out of it, you can definitely go and buy separately without having to buy the entire case. You can buy a refillable little compact, which, as you can see, the compact just comes out and this is what it looks like. I personally don't think it's a must-have. If you are a foundation junkie, yes, it's a must-have. But if you're not and you have foundations that you feel like really work for you, then I would skip it, and I would skip it seriously because of the shade range. It only comes in 11 shades, so I didn't mention that first. It only comes in 11 shades, but I think they try to get every skin tone within those shades. So like, I'm quite sure a 555, which is this darker color here, I'll show you one more time. I'm quite sure the 555 is there for those who might be a shade darker than 555 or even a shade lighter. But again, I really just wish they had more shades. So that, for me, is the only downside to this foundation. But I think it's innovative. I know that a lot of people say this is based off of like Korean makeup, but obviously Korean makeup doesn't make makeup for brown skinned women. So I'm actually glad that Lancome, you know, just took the step to go ahead and come out with it. Again, I think it's a good foundation. I don't think you have to necessarily go out and buy it if you already have foundations that you love. But again, if you're a foundation junkie and you just like to have a nice collection of foundations, then yes, I would say get it. Overall, again, it's a good foundation, but I think I would, if I were you and I saw my video, I would go into a store to test out the different shades just to see, you know, which one matches you better. Because obviously the shades are going to match other skin tones, or they are going to match other people. But for me, I just found that was a big turn off. So other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this quick review of the Lancome's Cushion Foundation. I hope it was truly helpful. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.